They said two people can love, but that night, we felt something rare, two hearts sharing one soul. My name is Jessica, and before I met Ethan, I believed love was about effort, texts, promises, and staying. I didn't know love could arrive quietly, without warning, and change the rhythm of your heart forever. I met Ethan on a day that felt ordinary. No rain, no drama, no signs from the universe. Just another day when life felt repetitive. We were both waiting, him for a delayed train, me for time to pass. The platform was crowded, noisy, impatient, and yet, when I noticed him, everything around us softened. He wasn't trying to stand out, he wasn't on his phone, he was just there watching people, lost in thought, carrying a calm sadness I recognized too well. Our eyes met. He smiled politely, I nodded back. That should have been the end. But something in me resisted moving away. The train delay stretched longer, people complained, I stayed quiet. Ethan stepped closer, not invading my space, just near enough to feel present. Long wait, he said. Long life, I replied without thinking. He laughed softly. That's exactly what it feels like. That moment cracked something open. We started talking slowly, carefully, about small things at first: work, travel, silence. He spoke gently, like every word mattered. I found myself listening more than speaking, feeling oddly understood by someone who barely knew me. When the train finally arrived, neither of us rushed. We boarded together. The ride felt shorter than it should have, too short. As the train slowed at my stop, panic touched my chest, not fear of him, but fear of losing the moment. This is me, I said. He hesitated. Can I walk you out? I nodded. Outside, the evening air felt different, lighter. We stood there, unsure how to end something that had just begun. I'm Ethan, he said. Jessica. Our hands brushed accidentally. But it didn't feel accidental. Something passed between, used warm, grounding, familiar. That touch lingered, long after we separated. The days that followed were strange. I found myself thinking of him in quiet moments, wondering if he felt it too, wondering if two strangers could share something so deep without trying. A week later, I saw him again. Same platform, same time. Coincidence felt too small a word. This time, there was no hesitation. We smiled like people reuniting, not meeting. From then on, we began sharing pieces of our lives, walks after work, coffee that turned into long conversations, silences that felt safe, not empty. With Ethan, I didn't feel the need to explain myself. With me, he let his guard down. Slowly, carefully, two hearts began beating in sync. But love never grows without fear. One night, as we sat quietly, I asked the question that had been sitting heavy in my chest. Do you believe two people can share one soul? He looked at me for a long moment, then said quietly, I think it only happens when both are brave enough to lose themselves. That scared me. Because I already was. And I could feel something coming, something beautiful, but dangerous. Because when two hearts become one soul, someone always risks losing more. I thought sharing one soul meant never being apart, but love tested us in the most painful way. After that night, something inside me changed. Ethan wasn't just someone I liked anymore, had become a presence in my thoughts, my decisions, my silences. Every message from him felt important. Every meeting felt necessary. We didn't say I love you, but our days began to revolve around each other naturally. Too naturally. That's when fear arrived. Love has a strange way of exposing what we try to hide, and for Ethan, it exposed a truth he had been running from. One evening, he asked me to meet him. His voice sounded heavy, like he was carrying a decision he didn't want to make. When I saw him, I knew. Something's wrong, I said before he could speak. He nodded slowly. I might have to leave. Those words felt unreal. Leave, where? I asked. Another city, a new job, a fresh start. He looked away. It's something I planned before I met you. Silence fell between us. So what happens to us? I asked, my voice barely steady. He swallowed hard. That's what I don't know. For the first time since meeting him, I felt truly scared. Two hearts, one soul, yet life was pulling us in opposite directions. The days that followed were painful. We still met, but something had changed. Laughter felt fragile, touch felt heavier. Every moment carried the weight of what if this is the last time. One night, frustration finally broke the silence. "If you leave," I said, "will you forget me?" He looked at me, hurt in his eyes. "How can I forget someone who feels like home?" "Then stay," I whispered. He didn't answer. That was the hardest part. Sometimes love isn't tested by distance but by choice. The night before his departure, we met one last time by the river, the same place where everything had started to feel real. The city lights reflected on the water, just like before, but this time, they trembled. "I don't want to lose myself again," Ethan said quietly, "but I don't want to lose you either." I took a deep breath. "Then don't choose fear." He looked at me, really looked at me. And in that moment, I realized something important. Love doesn't mean holding someone back. It means standing where they choose to return. "I won't ask you to stay," I said softly, "but if we truly share one soul, distance won't erase us." That night, we didn't make promises. We made truth. Weeks passed. I focused on my life, my growth, my strength. Loving him didn't mean losing myself anymore. It meant trusting what we had built. Then one ordinary evening, my phone rang. It was Ethan. "I came back," he said, "not because I was afraid to leave, but because I knew where my soul belonged." Tears filled my eyes. Sometimes love doesn't need perfect timing. It needs courage. We didn't run into each other's arms like movies show. We stood there, smiling, understanding that what we had survived mattered more than what we had felt. Two hearts, one soul. Not because we were inseparable, but because we chose each other freely. And that is how I learned the truth about love. When two hearts share one soul, no distance can divide them, and no fear can defeat them.